Good afternoon. I want to apologize first and foremost because we are super busy here. I got my car back here. It's officially race season. We've been super busy in the shop, so I can't record everything. Been trying to get these cars ready to head to the track this weekend, but I wish you guys could see what's in front of me because we got so much work done to the car, and videos or pictures will not do this car justice. We got a ton of work done, and we still have a little things done. We haven't started the car yet, so I'm gonna share that with you guys, but we're not gonna start the car up today. I'm just gonna show you guys a lot of the stuff that's got done because the car looks like pretty much 95% complete. So what do you think of the overall build? Because you didn't like it when we first got it.
Well, I didn't really. Well, I like the car.
No, you can just tell YouTube that you're not an EK person. You love Integras.
No, I like EKs. You know, I love EKs. I love EM1s specifically, but it's just we have so much shit going on inside the shop that I already knew what kind of build this was gonna be. There'd be a full tear down, full rebuild. It just takes a lot of time, and we're just super busy with other stuff going on. But I'm actually really happy with the outcome. And all I gotta say is this car fucks.
Does it?
What you guys see this car?
Here we go, boys. God damn. We didn't want to do TE37s, but god damn, we had to do TE37s.
The ride height still isn't adjusted. I still gotta get the fitment right on the car. I'm still gonna adjust the car tomorrow, and still a lot of stuff we still gotta do on the car, but it's pretty much, like you said, 95% done. There's still small odds and ends left to finish on the car, but I mean, check it out.
So in the last video you guys seen, we put the windows in. The windows are fully in. All the trim is brand new. What happened today was side skirts are on. I still have to put the dual overhead badges on and also the SI emblem. What you guys also didn't see is the full exhaust is actually on the car, but my brother plans on doing an alignment on the car tomorrow and set ride height. So I'll show you guys the underneath of the car with the exhaust up. So
the wheels we have are 16-inch TE37s.
Give them the offset because everyone's gonna ask offset and wheel tire size. Do you even remember
I forgot. This, I want to say maybe like a plus 28 maybe?
Because the fitment you got on the EG hatch was dead on perfect.
This one's pretty good too. On the EKs, on the EM1s specifically, I don't really like putting 15-inch wheels. I feel like they're too small for the car. It's more of a big body car, so I need a 16-inch rim. And we went with a meaty tire on here, the 215 45 16.
That shit just looks amazing.
No, sorry, 205 50 16 tire.
The red sticker with the red, and then show them you gotta show them the interior.
Before we kind of go inside, right? So I got the wheels powder coated because they were white. They're powder coated black, gloss black. This fucking sticker was a pain in the ass. I've called maybe like 10 companies and they would not sell me the stickers because obviously they come in the box with the wheels.
Yeah, we called JHP. They only had one sticker in stock. Then he said it was gonna be till September or something, right?
One guy, I'm not gonna say his name or what company, but he cussed me out on the phone and hung up in my face.
Yo, we even offered, we was like, yo, can you open up a set of TEs and sell us the stickers? The dudes was like so pissed about that. I don't even know why. If they have a bunch of TEs in stock, they should just sold us the stickers.
But whatever. Let's go to the interior, which is probably my favorite in here as well. We still gotta clean the car up, obviously, it's still kind of dirty, but CTR door panels, check out the seats though. These fucking seats are like brand new.
All right, I'm gonna go really slow for you guys, just so you guys can see this. Just so you guys can see how mint these seats are. Like super clean. Like even check out this part of the seat. Super fresh. But I need to show you guys something, my favorite part about the interior, like the favorite. J-Rock did this shit today. This right here, oh my god. I recommend everybody that got a K-swap to do this to your EK. He put he made an aluminum piece and then bent it to fit and then carbon wrapped it. That shit right there makes the interior. Remember I told you guys we have a Bluetooth radio, so we do not need a radio here.
What's the Bluetooth ghost box? Yeah,
Bluetooth ghost box. We're still gonna mount the ECU. We left it out because I need to put a base map on here. And then we have to put the seat belts.
Yes, we got the seat belts.
Got the harness bar back there, stock SI seats.
We got the steering wheel.
Everything just flows really good.
OEM, and then I got the armrest to kind of match the steering wheel. I didn't want to do red because I felt it was just gonna be too much red in there. But
hold on, we need you guys' opinion real quick on something. We are undecisive. We don't know. I'm thinking a spoon shift knob in black with the red, but I don't know if they come 6-speed. So we have a hybrid racing shift box. We didn't want to put a ktuned shift knob on a hybrid racing box. So drop in the comments some opinions. What do you guys think we should do for a shift knob that'll look good in here? The car's red and black. Black K-tune would look good in here, but hybrid box, maybe a spoon one if they come 6-speed. But also let us know in the comments, what would you guys put in here? We already did the 18, what you did, the 18 Type R one in the red hatch.
I think so. I don't
It was like the circle style
I
OEM
like
knob.
that one. I feel like this car needs more like an oval style knob. I think like a circle knob doesn't really flow with the car.
I wanted to do like the OEM, like Integra Type R knob. It kind of got like that titanium look to it, but still a 5-speed. So we haven't got there yet. The car hasn't started. So let's get to the engine bay.
Yeah.
These wheels are just something else.
I still gotta fit the wheels of the car just to ride high.
This fitment is like,
it's still not. It's gonna be perfect once the car is done.
this fitment is on point though. The car needs to be raised a little bit because
No.
What
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this gap.
Get rid of what gap?
This fender gap right here.
Up or down? Are you going down?
I'm gonna go down.
Nah.
I'm gonna tuck this.
Nah.
I'm gonna tuck this nice in the fender.
Nah.
Raise them back just a little.
RIP to those fenders. Look how low this car is sitting right now.
But remember.
Hold on, you guys, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys how low, right? Here's my finger. You can't even put a finger in it.
Yeah, but remember, we got the body work done to fit wheels like this on purpose.
I don't know, you don't got no body work done on those fenders. One bump and those fenders are gone.
Yeah, I still gotta adjust the camber on it, so I'm gonna have the fitment perfect on this though.
All right, so I'll tell you guys what changed a little bit. We bought a brand new hood prop from Honda for now until we get the hood shocks we're gonna put up here. And then I also found a brand new OEM hood latch. Let's check that out. Brand new with I wish I would have opened up the wrapper in front of you guys. And the Speed Factory radiator is on, hood, the latch is on. J-Rock tucked the hell out of all these lines. I'll show you guys underneath the car after. He did an amazing job.
Look, this, you see it flow to the top. It actually runs under the car.
This runs under the car. This is
for the brake booster.
You guys see that?
The reason why we didn't go with a booster delete is because if you guys ever driven a car without a booster, right, the pedal feels rock hard and it's not really fun to drive. You really have to push the pedal to push it. So we kind of wanted to have that OEM feel still. That's why we kept the booster on the car.
Those brake lines tucked. You guys just tucked everything. Even the clutch line, like the clutch line is tucked. I don't know if you guys can check that out. We still have to put the firewall plugs in, waiting for the Speed Factory catch can. We have all the lines for the valve cover, and then we have the alternators all set up now with the belt.
The thing is, like I was stating before, right, the custom work is a lot harder than OEM stuff, right? The OEM stuff, you can literally go to the parts store, call Honda, hey, I need this, this, and this, boom. But with the custom work, it's like, right, so this belt.
Be honest real quick. How many belts did we buy?
Probably like 8 belts. So he's trying to get, right? So the thing is, right, we have different combination pulleys. So if you guys don't know, the K24 pulley is the biggest pulley. Then you have the RSX Type S pulley, and then you have the Type R pulley, and they're all different sizes.
And before the people that are gonna comment, yeah, we got the size of the belt. I think it was like a 34-inch belt. We could have just ordered one, but we just wanted something right then and there that was in stock.
And the reason why we kind of went with different belts, right? So if you look, this alternator, and then this.
What's that alternator from again?
It's from an S2000, and then the hose. So if you see, there's not much clearance. So you have to get this
He's
size
talking
belt
about this clearance right here. If you guys see it, you can only probably put a finger in there.
If you put a tighter belt on here, you're not gonna be able to unscrew this this hose off if you ever need to, or you can't even put it on if you wanted to. So you have to get the right size belt. And like I said, custom shit like from the belt. There's like other stuff we kind of ran into.
And then the battery tray. J-Rock I'll show them the battery tray. J-Rock did an amazing job welding this up.
He actually didn't weld it. We wanted it to be.
Oh, this is a bolt-in actually.
So it's actually a bolt-in.
Yeah, but he had to weld. When I'm talking about weld, I'm talking about he made this from scratch. Like he didn't buy this and bolt it on. He actually made all this and actually bolts on. There's one bolt here, one bolt on the back, and one bolt on the other side. So
and it's actually it's really strong. This shit didn't go nowhere. So we tucked that, and it'll fit with the bumper on the car. You won't even see it.
Yo, you said it was gonna be running by Friday. It's not.
The thing is, right? We had our Ramadan was over. We took Monday off, last Monday, so it would have been running Friday. It actually could start right now, but
we're not gonna start it. We're gonna save that for tomorrow, maybe the day after.
But it's pretty much done. I did have a nice header for this car. I'll tell you guys, I had a ram horn header, but the issue was, the reason why I didn't put that on is because it comes up too high, and I wanted to put the fittings for the catch can on the back of the valve cover, not in the front. So
me personally, I hate those ram horn headers. They don't make power. They just basically just for show. Kind of want to have both, so we put a brand new ktuned header on here. I think it looks good. So we're missing the front bumper. We have it over here. We're gonna put it on probably tomorrow. Front bumper with the lip. We also put the there's an OEM strip you can buy at Honda. If you guys are interested in this for you guys' cars, so it doesn't scratch your bumpers on fresh paint, shoot me a message, or maybe I'll put it in the description. You can buy that little gasket from Honda. It makes everything look that much better. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick. What I'll do is I'll do a montage again for you guys. Want to do a quick montage? We'll do a montage around the car so you guys can check out everything. And also drop in the comments if you like this build better, if you like the EG build. We're super close to being done on this car. So we have to just put an intake pipe, front bumper, align the car, set ride height, and then we're ready for the dyno. So
maybe in the comments before we do the montage, I know you said something about the shift knob, but also the intake, right? So I'm leaning more towards like a titanium style intake.
Titanium?
But not a burnt titanium, just like a clean titanium.
Like a raw titanium.
Yeah, like a raw titanium intake.
Pie cuts or no pie cuts?
Yeah, some pie cuts on the 90 when it goes down, but not burnt. Just
I wouldn't go too
titanium.
crazy. I would make probably a 90 off of here.
I'm thinking like a straight and then a 90 that goes down and a 90 that goes under the tire, so you don't see the filter. But I'm thinking a titanium intake. I think Jordan wants an aluminum intake, but gloss black to kind of match the black theme. And what did you say?
I was with whatever. I honestly.
I think you want a raw aluminum, right?
I wanted raw aluminum. I think it would have looked good. Because you got to remember, right? At first, I wasn't really feeling the valve cover, right? Because the valve cover I don't think looked good when we had the MF10s on here. But now looking at it, black valve cover, black rail, all the black accents are on the back. There's some silver. That headlights are kind of gunmetal with the black wheels. Everything flows pretty good. I think aluminum would set it off, but black intake, I don't know. I'd have to see it up here or titanium would look good. But we all know titanium is hella money and you can't fuck up. You know, aluminum, if you mess one up, you can throw it away and get another one. So who's welding the titanium?
Fabricated. But go ahead, show the montage.
All right, so I'm gonna get into this montage and I'll see you guys tomorrow.